Meanwhile, a group of members of senators are working behind the scenes to craft a bipartisan deal on the deficit. North Dakota Senator Kent Conrad chairs the Senate Budget Committee and was a member of the President's Fiscal Commission. And I want to start with that. Senator Conrad, when you see that the Fiscal Commission recommendations are not being used in a big plan, do you feel as if you wasted your time?
Not at all. I think the Fiscal Commission plan shows a way forward, shows that there can be bipartisan agreement. You know, 11 of the 18 commissioners voted for the plan, 5 Democrats, 5 Republicans, and 1 independent. And we outlined something that includes the revenue side, reducing tax expenditures so we can lower rates, make the country more competitive, help reduce the deficit, substantial spending cuts, and taking on entitlements, which over time have to be addressed.
So where's the plan?
Well, you know,
why didn't the president grab it?
That's a different issue. The plan is there. The plan is being worked on, as you've said in your story, behind the scenes by a group of us trying to find a way forward. I think the president, probably rightly, decided if he laid down that plan that many, if not most Republicans, certainly in the House, would reject it out of hand, and it simply wouldn't advance the ball.
So are you glad he kind of stayed out of it?
I think he may have made a wise choice at this stage. Ultimately, the president has to be at the table, as do Republicans and Democrats, House and the Senate. But how do you get there? How do you get to the table? And my own belief is it's got to start in the Senate. That's why it's so important this group is working, 6 of us, including Senator Chambliss on the Republican side, Senator Warner on the Democratic side, and the 4 of us from the commission who are still in the Senate.
And you mentioned this gang of 6 that you are among.
Not a gang.
Oh, you're not a gang.
Well, you know, we just always have to do that.
Yeah,
you know,
we have it's like putting a gate at the end of a scandal, right? We're just kind of lazy that way. Sorry.
Or a czar. But anyway, that's just you're right. So you're not a gang. You're a group of 6. Tell us about these negotiations. I mean, to use another Washington cliche, is everything on the table? Are you looking at tax reform? Are you looking at Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid?
Yeah, everything is on the table, and the commission report is really the basis for the discussions. We are trying to transform the commission report into legislation, and with a backup plan to encourage Congress to enact it. So it is a complicated discussion, fully bipartisan. There are 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans, and we're making good progress.
I got to ask you, Senator, what your opinion is of what the president's role should be in all of this. Here's what Lamar Alexander, one of the Senate Republican leaders, had to say about the president. Take a listen.
There are a number of United States senators and former senators who've tried to be the president of the United States, but there are only one who is. And in our system of government, there's only one person in our country who can, better than everybody else, see an urgent need, develop a strategy to deal with that need, and persuade half the people he's right, and that's the President of the United States.
So what role should he play now for you to get this moving?
You know, I agree with Senator Alexander's assessment. Certainly that's the case. The question is timing. And unfortunately, in this town, as toxic as it is, if the president had laid down the commission plan, which, remember, 5 of his 6 representatives voted for. 5 of the 6 representatives from the United States Senate voted for it. 5 of the 6 representatives of the United States House voted against it, including all of the House Republicans, including the now chairman of the House Budget Committee. Right. And if you look at the plan that they have put forward, the House Republicans, they actually make the debt far worse, because they cut revenue more than they cut spending. The result is bigger deficits, bigger debt, and the president and his people look at that and they say, hey, how serious are they? So at the end of the day, my own judgment is this has got to start in the Senate. It's got to be bipartisan. And if we demonstrate that a group of us, a significant number of us, can come together, I believe that will bring the president and the House to the table, because I think there'll be then intense pressure. And look, the president understands this full well. that we're on a course that is unsustainable. We're borrowing 40 cents of every dollar we spend. Revenue as a share of our national income is the lowest it has been in 60 years. Spending as a share of our national income is the highest it has been in 60 years. We cannot continue on this course.
Senator Conrad, I want to read you a quote from former Senator John Sununu. He said, Kent Conrad may well feel like Atlas with the weight of the world, or at least a few trillion in taxpayers' money sitting squarely on his shoulders. Ever hear the phrase herding cats? Imagine trying to herd cats with egos, re-election campaigns, and presidential ambitions. Is that about the size of it? Does he have that right?
Yes.
Senator, very quickly about the budget deal in the House, what they're trying to do with the 2011 budget. Does that have any chance in the Senate realistically, or is that pretty much DOA?
No, I don't think it does have any realistic prospect. It really, frankly, doesn't make much sense. You know, all of the bipartisan commissions that have considered this problem have heard from the best advice in the country, and the best advice is make modest changes in the next 18 months, but put in place a long-term plan, a 10-year plan that reduces the debt by in the range of $4 trillion. That's what the Fiscal Commission recommended. That's what the Domenici-Rivlin Commission recommended. All of the serious efforts have concluded that's the right path.
And very quickly, before we let you go, do you consider the president's budget for next year to be realistic or overly optimistic?
You know, I think he's got it about right for next year. The concerns that I've expressed is what is the way forward to get to the table to negotiate a long-term deal that really gets our debt under control, that starts working down our debt, that pulls America back from the brink. Because if we don't, look, people need to understand our debt now is going to be 100% of our gross domestic product. We cannot allow that to be.
All right. Senator Kent Conrad, who apparently is Atlas, the weight of the world on his shoulders. Anyway.